What up, Cowboy fans and YouTubers? It's that VA Dallas Cowboy fan coming back at you. So have you been enjoying the highlights of OTAs coming from multiple sources? I know I have, but you know, you can't get real hype off of OTAs. Shirts and shorts does not make a football team, but it is a promising sign towards new beginnings. So at least we have the options of seeing what these guys have potentially, and that is a bright future compared to what we have been trotting out there. There's been some notes coming out. Dak Prescott is a full go for training camp, which is a great sign. All things pointed towards that happening as he rehabbed back from the ankle injury. We have Micah Parsons on the field being moved around from pass rushing opposite DeMarcus Lawrence and Randy Gregory to being in a combination with all the other linebackers on the field at the same time. So that's pretty awesome to see. We have Nahshon Wright making a name for himself so far in the OTAs, looking pretty good, especially in the absence of Kelvin Joseph, who just came back. He was in the COVID-19 protocol, so he missed 10 days. He's going to have to get reacclimated to everything, and he's a step behind Nahshon Wright right now. Terrell Basham, apparently he's the big brother in the defensive line room, as he's one of the elder statesmen, and he's been around imparting that knowledge towards some of the younger guys on that line that are coming in, as well as DeMarcus Lawrence helping out Michael Parsons with pass rush moves. So it's great to see the vets helping out the rookies and the younger guys. You know, it's great to see them step up, you know, and doing what they need to do to help out their team. Last year, there was none of that. There was no camaraderie. Everybody was on their solo thing, and it just was a mess. We have Javon Curse basically getting first-team reps due to Donovan Wilson. I heard from Brian Broaddus that he was not around in the offseason, and now it's being said that he had some sort of leg injury, knee injury or something, and that is nothing they're concerned about. But, you know, if you weren't at the facilities during the offseason, that's already kind of a bad sign. And, you know, they didn't draft you. They didn't pick you up. They didn't really want to play you last year until they had no other option. So the fact that you weren't there and now you're hurt, excuse me, basically come training camp, you better turn your fortunes around or you may be cut from this team. Because there's other guys that are out here that are trying their best to make this squad. Kennedy and Deontay Burton. One opted out and the other guy was like a forgotten man in the defense last year. And they're showing up. They're taking backup reps behind Anthony Brown, Trayvon Diggs, and Jordan Lewis, and Nahshon Wright. So, you know, everybody's got to pull their part this year. There's no excuses anymore. The offense, you're seeing that Amari Cooper is still out. Apparently, he's still dealing with his ankle injury. I, for one, am kind of shocked that with the offseason coming, he didn't have that checked out even more. I know he had some stuff cleaned up postseason, but if it's a recurring ankle injury, you might want to get that really checked out, because, you know, I like that he tries to gut it out, but it's starting to bleed into the seasons and training camp, and he's not there. Now, he doesn't really need to practice, because apparently we've all seen that he's still pretty crisp in his routes and can play pretty well even when injured. But sometimes he has those games where he just disappears. Now, you don't want to blame that on injury. So I hope he's getting that checked out, and they're going to okay him. But I don't want to see something pop back up on him that will require us looking back and saying, dang, we spent all that money on him and he's injured every year with the same problem. Get it taken care of. And speaking of getting things taken care of, La'el Collins, Zach Martin, and Tyron Smith all look to be healthy and ready to go for training camp. La'el Collins is down to 312, 313, something like that, the lightest he's ever been. And he looks pretty fit for himself. You know, he's feeling healthy. He said the hip injury was a nagging problem that he felt before last season started. So when he couldn't go, he just went ahead and just had the surgery done. Zach Martin was not any kind of surgical thing he needed. He just needed some rest. And Tyron, now that he got the neck issue taken care of, it's more than likely going to help with the back problems because it's all connected. And that's going to be a good thing on the long run for him. But we'll still have to monitor if he's still that guy who misses 3 games a season, you know. Hopefully he doesn't, but now that we're playing 17 instead of 16 games, it's just something we want to take a look at, you know. Other news, Mike McCarthy has been praising Randy Gregory, saying that he really didn't know him at this time last season, so he really didn't know what he could do when he came back. And Randy Gregory himself said the coaching staff kind of held him back because, you know, he felt like he can go. And we saw that on the field that he can go. But they seem to have limited his time for some reason. And, you know, it came back to kind of bite them. But now that he's not playing that backup role, he's now unquestionably probably one of the edge rushing starters. We're finally going to see what a full offseason since his rookie year can do for him. It's more hands-on this year with Dan Quinn and really see, you know, the improvements that he can make. Because Lord knows if the man's doing what he does when he doesn't have full off seasons and he's been suspended most of these seasons and can come back and still wreck shop with no kind of training. Imagine what full off seasons and ready to go come day one is going to look like. And a starter at that, not coming off and getting in and all that. Man. Other than that, you know, the guys have been looking good on the defense, as we hope they should. But it's not Dak that they're really beating up on as much as Garrett Gilbert and Ben DiNucci. And frankly, listening to some of these guys on the 105.3 The Fan, Ben DiNucci is just not quarterback. He's just not getting it. He's not picking up anything. He's not improving. He's not any better than some of the guys they probably brought in for that rookie camp. So I'm really not seeing him making the roster. He might make practice squad, but I don't see him being with the Cowboys much longer, especially if they just go with 2 quarterbacks instead of 3. I don't know if you'd put him on the practice squad because you can get any guy off the street and try to work him out better than Ben DiNucci right now. Zeke Elliott looks great, great conditioning, great footwork he's working on. As usual, it's the offseason and he's getting in shape like he always does, but we'll have to see what happens when the season fully starts. Tony Pollard, he's getting work outside at wide receiver, but that's due to necessity with the injuries and the illnesses that the wide receivers were having, but also because they wanted to work him into a type of some kind of role to get him more on the field and the ball more in his hands more often, instead of just having him back up Zeke all the time and getting, you know, 10 snaps a game. They want to see what he can really do when unleashed. And I think it's a great concept. They wanted to do it last year, but, you know, virtual training wasn't going to get them that kind of look at him like they really wanted. Other than that, you know, we've seen snippets of the guys hitting pads, playing off of each other. They look good. But again, this is OTAs, June mini camps. When training camp really begins and they can start getting a little more physical and the preseason games start, then we'll really know what we have to work with. Right now, they're just going to run with what they have. I don't think they're going to bring in any more outside talent to help out as far as depth. But we'll have to see as, training camp comes along, because, when that happens, you're going to see more transactions with people getting cut because they can't hack it and people getting picked up to pick up the slack. So we'll have to see when that comes around. We have one more day of June mini camp for the vets. The rookies report for rookie meetings next week, Monday through Friday, and then everybody's off until July for training camp. So we'll have to see what comes out today video-wise and tomorrow, and see what everybody's talking about. I hope it continues the good forward trend of good plays from all players. Hopefully these nagging injuries and whatnot will not be a long-term thing. Hopefully everybody will be healthy and ready to go at training camp. I want to send out condolences to John Fossil. His father, Jim Fossil, passed away yesterday, I do believe, from a heart attack. And that's why he has not been out there with the team this week. He's handling that. And I'm going to end this now, as I am now in a rainstorm and people can't drive. So, until next time, this is VA Dallas Cowboy fan, out. What up again, Cowboys Nation and YouTubers? I just read on Twitter after I made the previous video, I'll be uploading this along with that Micah Parsons has now signed a fully guaranteed 4-year deal. Hey, Cowboy fans, our #1 draft pick has been locked down for the next 4 years, fully guaranteed. All right, it's coming from Ian Rappaport and others on Twitter. That is the news for now. Until then, next time, talk to y'all later. Peace.